sorry, guys. I did it again, says Kyle. I didn't hit the live button, but we were already talking. And Pham, I was asking you, what part of Louisiana are you from? North, Central, or South?
I'm from South Louisiana. I was born and raised in New Orleans, and I currently live about 45 minutes from town in a little city called Hammond.
Okay. Is that north or south of I-10?
That is south of I-10.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're still considered
kind
south.
of like I-12.
Okay. Good deal.
It's the Boudin equator, isn't it?
No, I lied. It's we got I-10 and you got I-12. So I-12 is right above it.
Okay. We're going to let you slide with I-12, but I got to check with Kyle. He's my geographer. He says anything. Oh, okay. He's giving me thumbs up. He says I-12. Yeah, it's still considered south. Okay. Okay. All right, cool.
We're still south. We're still in the south.
All right. So asking you real quick, how long have you been involved with the American Bullies? What's that?
No. I'm reading the comments.
He got Cowboy fans over here saluting him. So how long have you been associated with American Bullies? What do you do? Because I know you just don't only breed. Break it down. Let us know who you are.
Well, what I do, I'm technically now a retired military veteran. I was medically retired after my tour in 2010 in Iraq, and that's kind of how I started with the breed. When I came home from Iraq, not even a month after being home, I saw my first American Bully at a pet store, and I was like, wow, I was so curious about that dog that I asked a person about it, and I ended up buying the littermate brother or sister from that person who was at the store, and got my very first what I called blue pit at the time, 2010. Didn't know what I was talking about, maybe we all start somewhere. And then I bought my real first true American Bully in 2016, a blue tri, and I kind of went to my first dog shows from there and realized how much I loved it and just dived fully in.
What did you like most about the Bully? Was it the temperament that got you? Was it the build? Or was it the look? What was it?
It was the look. It was the build. It's something about that face, something about that strength, that confidence that I find to be really beautiful. That chiseled cheeks, the square jaws, and that just sharp, muscular tone. I find represents a beautiful dog.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you
Plus
more.
They're cool.
And let me be the first to thank you for your service. I'm also
thank you for yours.
Retired vet myself. May I ask, what branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Good deal. So we got something in common. All right.
Heck yeah.
Who do we got? Kyle's popping up pictures over here. Who do we got right here below you?
That is Gizmo. That was I produced him off of my female Nico Robin to champion El Guero, which was Lucky Lou's shortest champ ever produced. He was like right on the line at 13 inches.
Okay.
He was a beautiful little dog, and that's when I was like, man, you can have short, micro, and fully functional on a dog. That is Ella. She is one of my first LABC collabs, one of them, with Champion Arista to Grand Champion Mako.
Very nice. Very nice. How old is she in this picture, if you don't mind me asking?
Not even 2, actually, right there. She was pointed and majored, but I sold her on a cone too with one of my partners. So
good deal.
She never had the chance.
Is there a particular color you prefer? And I know you don't breed for color, so we're not even going to go down that
exactly.
rabbit. But if you had these 2 perfect dogs, or say 10 perfect dogs, and they all had
honestly, I love chocolates. I love chocolate tries. Like there's something about them, and it's just really hard to get all those combinations into one dog. That is newly crowned dual champion Broly right there. Okay. That is another LABC full collaboration, Grand Champion J2 to Grand Champion Riku. I'm so proud of that.
Good deal. I tip my hat off to you, grand championing out. We had somebody commenting that you've already grand champed out several. It's not just one. So definitely tipping my hat off to you. Real quick, I got to make a quick announcement. We got Zena, who just became a member. Kyle, let her have it.
Oh.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
I could barely hear it, Kyle. Give it a little louder.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
There you go. All right, Zena, number love. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Ask questions. We got answers. We're going to be answering all member questions today. I have a question for you, fam. In the time that you've been breeding, would you say males or females contribute the most to breeding? You know, considering your journey and what you've produced up to now.
I think that's a pretty loaded question at the end of the day. Because I had one of my very first friends who I bought that first dog from. He would always tell me the females give about 80%. The females give about 80%. And I was just like, that's not how genetics work, man. Like when you're looking at it textbook wise, you only have so many chromosomes and they're split down the middle. But then after he bred for many, many years, but after so many different situations where I've seen lots of breedings happen, lots of things tip here or there, you know, I always tell people it's playing Yahtzee. All you can do is multiply the numbers that you want on your dice. And you do that by knowing your bloodline, and you do that by knowing what you breed. And in order to get a consistent and look and production, you have to breed the dogs in front of you to be consistent and similar, but you have to know what's behind them is also consistent and similar. So that's why I say it's a really loaded question. You can't just base it on that one thing, but I feel like there's a reason why my females have been so much more successful throughout all these years as well. It's because I always focus so much of that thought process on the female and what I am breeding her to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's an answer or more or less just an explanation.
Well, look, there is no right or wrong answer. I can tell you, me personally, I'm sure you're well aware that the mitochondrial DNA, 99.99% is coming from just the female.
I know. And that's what I tell people too. You can say that it's split halfway down, but if you're really looking at the whole entire science of it, the egg is this big and the sperm is this big. Right. So this is the chunk of your information, and this is what the male is contributing to that chunk of information. So whenever he told me that in the very beginning with the whole 80%, I'm like, I'm not going to put a number on it, but I kind of do feel like the mom has a lot more to give when it comes to the production.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we know that there's autosomal chromosomes, and those are the ones that are not sex. They don't determine the sex. So let's talk about the X's and not that Y. Now we know males are XY, so that Y you can just pretty much throw it out the window because that's just to determine sex. So now we have one X on the male side up against two X's on the female side. So if the female has an assortment of dogs behind her, you know that assortment is going to be coming from her whenever there's recombination. So I've always thought of the female, whether we like it or not, they're the backbone of the breeding program, in my opinion.
So you have your female, you building off of the female, you find the males that complement and have the dogs behind them. You know what I mean? And so you have that female, you're just building off of her. So, you know, as a stud owner, if you're a selective breeder, you know what I mean? And,
you know, when I first started out, and I'll ask you guys this as well. When I first started out, I was told males sell your puppies, but the females run the show. How do you feel about that statement?
What they say, females make your yard. That's when they say make your yard, I literally feel like that's absolutely true. Like it's a figurative thing as well, because they're the ones making the puppies. The males are the ones generating the hype. They're the ones gaining the eyes. But when you're looking at it all, a male can't do everything. You know, you need the female to balance it out. You can't expect a really big male to go to a skinny little female and then end up with everyone looking like the male. But that male is going to, since they tend to be a lot more impressive, since they draw more eyes, because people have, I think part of the reason why they draw more eyes is people have the opportunity to utilize them versus buying a puppy from a female. You only have X amount of puppies. You only have X amount of litters, whereas a male can be utilized over and over and over.
This is true.
Yeah. What I see in that too is the females. She's not really marketed like the male. After she has the first litter or two, some of the really, really, really beautiful females kind of lose their glamour, you know.
Yeah. And that's because they have nothing left to contribute. So then people have no reason to market them anymore. I mean, you can always say, as just like a marketing tool for your own personal, you know, growth and everything, to say, this is what I've done, this is where we've gone, this is what the two of us have done together, this is what I produced. But beyond that, yes, that's what I mean. Like, there's only so many puppies that you can buy. There's only so many litters you can produce from them viably, whereas a male can continue to be used over and over and over throughout his entire career. So you have reason to continue to promote. You have reason to continue to keep them at their maximum capacity and to do their best.
Right.
That's a very valid point. Their expiration date, the female's expiration date, in contribution to a breeding program, she will expire way before the male. I couldn't agree with you anymore. But we have a question from a member. So, Ms. Pham, you're going to go first, and I'm going to let you, Mike, and Donald, and then I'll answer. Drippy says, so, Ms. Pham, if you had to choose a new puppy in your program, would you go with best female or male, and why? I think she already explained the why. Would you start with a male or female?
I would start with whoever's the best dog. Now, say and here's the thing, everything depends on where you're at in your program. If you already have a male, you're going to want a female. But at the end of the day, if you go in there intending, I need a female, I don't have a female, and you go and look and all the females aren't that great, and you have that one outstanding male, you should still pick that male. You know, let's be realistic here. You know, you have to choose what's best for you in that moment and what's presented to you. Now, if I have a fantastic looking female and a male right in front of me, currently, I want males. But that's because where I am currently. In the very beginning, I wanted nothing. And everyone can see this, my work attributes to this. I wanted nothing with females. Because I knew my females were building my yard. My females were building my program. Because everything is based off the female. I can breed, I can choose whatever male I want out of the gene pool to add to the female that I have in front of me, that if she's worth breeding. And I did that. And I created the line that I have now that people can hopefully recognize and see the consistency. And that's where I wanted females. And at this point now, I've grown to the point where it's like the line is out there, everyone's out there. So my focus is more on building that male because I have the ability to. I have the time to, because the females, the foundation's down. Once the foundation was down, the first 3 dogs I champed out that I granted were my female. And from there, we've gotten Grand Champion Poe, Grand Champion Jax. From there, I was able to selectively breed more for those males because it was a lot harder to get those males, honestly, to me, than it was to get the females.
Yeah.
Because I already had a slew of females to choose from.
Yeah.
Definitely says Terrence Grisby definitely got some she-males running around there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I like the fact that you answered the way you did, Pham, because it would be so easy for you to just come here, nod your head, and agree with everyone. And the bottom line is everyone's journey is different. I'm an ex-breeder, right? These 2 gentlemen below me, they breed pockets. Even though we're in the same breed, because we're in different classes, things have to be managed differently. They have a different gene pool to pull from than I do, for example.
And people want different things from their dogs.
Right.
You know, people are looking for different things. Some people choose personality too. Some people don't like the more laid back laziness of a male sometimes. Some people want more of that kind of uppity, kind of like in your faceness of a female. I feel that there's a totally different mentality that you get from males versus females, but it's just like you were saying, everyone's journey is different. You can't just say, oh, this is what you should do step by step, because not everybody's going to do it the same way. Not everyone's going to experience it the same way, but not everyone wants the same thing. And that's what I always ask people. What do you want? What are you going for? Do you like the pockets? Do you like XLs? Do you like standards? Do you like males? Do you like females? I can't just tell you this is what you want.
Right. That's what Donald does a real good job of whenever we vetting people to get dogs, he kind of check their personality. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I believe this dog right here fits your personality just from the conversations we having. And he was one actually pick Bad Betty too for personality. He kept saying, my wife right off the bat like Bad Betty, but then he was like, hey, Bad Betty do fit your personality, man. So that's what he did real well, man. We match up people to dogs.
I'm like you though. I hate telling people what they're gonna like. You don't like that.
Well, I mean, if it's a mess, it's a mess. I'm gonna be honest about that. But it's matters of opinion, and I feel people should I don't know, the brevity we have with this breed, like the reach that we have with this breed with so many different styles, I think everybody might have a different flavor. So we have so many different flavors. I think everybody has their own different way of experiencing it.
Mm-hmm. We have Adam Fields asking, okay, what percentage of males to females would you keep in your yard then at this stage?
I keep what... For me, I keep a dog that is going to contribute in whatever way that I feel it contributes, whether or not it's because I just love her, like my pets that are fixed, or my potential show dogs, or my potential brood stock. There's no set number for me, because to me, I need to be flexible. This is a very flexible world that we live in this specific world, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if your X amount of females, you might have a PIO, or you might have to fix one for some odd reason or another. You know what I mean? So I've never actually said, now I can limit myself and say I can't have more than this many dogs. But I've never actually said you need to have this number of males, this number of females. For me, it's just what makes sense in that moment, because the goal actually for me at this point isn't any more breeding per se, but just kind of finding the best fit and not just going out there and breeding, I'm a breed if I feel it's right, if I feel it's going to contribute, and if it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're at that point. You're at that point in your journey. When we all first start, whether you like it or not, whether you're impulsive or not, you can't wait to see what you can produce, just to see what's there. But I love how you're bringing it up. Once you establish yourself and you drop several litters and whatnot, there's going to be a point in time in your particular journey, for example, where you're at now, where maybe breeding takes a backseat to maybe handling, showing, or anything else.
Well, the breedings are still happening, but for me personally, in the very beginning, I was all hands on. I wanted to breed everything. I wanted to whelp everything. I wanted all that to happen. And now that I've gotten the dogs that I've granded, and then all those grands have had successful litters and they've produced their own champs and grands, it's one of those like pass the torch kind of things for me. And my partners are really excited still to breed and produce those puppies. So I'm huge right now. Like my co-owned opportunities are really where I find the newer people who want and have a true and genuine interest in showing, handling, that type of competitive atmosphere is what I feel is going to be like their route. Because everyone can say, oh, I want to do this, but not everyone follows through. And to find those, I think those are rare gems. And we have to like nurture them. And by nurturing them, I co-own dogs with them that I know are going to be that next dog. That's why Sheila and Ryan have Champion Broly. That's where majority. That's why Grand Champion Poe is with Justin and Lacey. Because I knew that they were genuine with that need and want to show in the ring. And so from there, I allowed those people to do those breedings, and I'm like, it's just one of those situations where I get put back deals. Everyone grows, everyone learns, and there's a lot of opportunities I think are created, and a lot of learning. So it's a really hand-in-hand type mentorship, friendship, relationship, partnership.
That's the best part of breeding, I find. I love the fact you're bringing that up. It's the camaraderie, the friendship. At first, you may be the teacher and they're the students, but in due time, you're just good friends that are able to talk dogs all the way through. We have a quick question from Zena, who just became a member. I know this is off topic, but what do you guys use for antioxidants? I'm going to let our guest go first, Miss Pham. Is there a particular antioxidant you have as your go-to?
You know, I'm very holistic when it comes to feeding my dogs with nutrition and stuff. Since my nursing background and everything, I like to actually give them the real stuff. I'm gonna give my dogs blueberries. I'm gonna give my dogs local honey. I'm gonna give my dogs Greek yogurt. You know, all those things like that. Spirulina is something I have too. That's probiotic. I like to just kind of mix up my own things, though. You know, there's a lot of natural things that we can find just day to day or in our own vitamin section that we can give to them and know what it is we're giving. If you even look on, if you're big into vitamins yourself, you know. Mm-hmm. But blueberries is really great for them. Honey is absolutely wonderful. But local source honey is amazing. And plus, it makes them really like whatever it is you're topping it with. Like, put it on their kibble, they'll kill it.
Yeah, it's really good. I found with allergies, but I use blueberries as well all the time. I just sprinkle a couple blueberries in there. Mike Donald, don't think you're going to be able to get off the hook on this question. What do you guys use for antioxidants?
Same thing y'all do.
Yeah, real easy. That was easy. I don't want to repeat what y'all just said.
Okay, all right.
No, man, I don't know.
I think that's called cheating on the test. I feel like copied and pasted.
It's a good example.
Miss Pham, you have a question from Jira Grimm, one of our members. He's asking, do you do show training, Miss Pham?
Absolutely. My show training is $250 per week, but I do a special for the full month at $900.
Okay, good deal.
And they stay in my home with me, live with me. They're treated like one of my own. People are like, do you put them outside? I'm like, I don't have outside. I don't have kennels. I don't have outdoor kennels. Like I do have a couple kennels, but they're just for my puppies. They're playing during the day. No one lives outside. So they are all treated here. Like that's why I have very limited spacing, because it's an everyday situation where every morning we walk for up to a mile, and leash training, show training, etiquette, and then socializing, taking them to the different stores and getting to meet and greet people and teaching them how to actually properly conduct themselves in public. Because some dogs don't know how to do that. But yeah, all that. All inclusive.
How important is for somebody, you pick up a dog and train, how important is it for them to follow through? Because I've seen dogs that went off the training. People put, great time in them, and then those owners will get them and put them in the kennel till it's time to go to a show.
I feel like that's okay. But when I tell them if they know that they're that type, then they need to let me refresh them 1 week before the show.
Okay.
Because it's not your job. That's why you pay me. And one lady even told me that. She's like, I'm paying you so you can do this, not so I can do this. I'm like, I totally understand that. So if you're gonna just let her be free and wild, then bring her back to me a week before, so that way I can bring her back to reality.
You're right. Exactly.
So it's a refresher, because in the course of training, because some people have asked me, can you do classes? Can you just come to me and do it for an hour? And I said, the way that I've trained is not just, I can teach a class and do it in an hour. What I train is a muscle memory, and it's built in routine habits. Right. And whenever you teach anything or anybody a routine, they're going to remember it forever. Have you ever forgotten how to ride a bike?
Right.
It's a routine. So it's one of those things, and the same routine should happen every time. And once they're back in that mode, they do remember. Hildry always says that. Hildry Glover, he never trains his own dog or anything in that sense. But he was like, every time I touch him and put him on the leash, every time you go back to train stack him, he knows, it's like he never forgot. And that's how it honestly should be. Yeah.
See, I never forgot how to ride a bike, but I can't ride a wheelie. You see? So the thing about it with me is when I've trained dogs and they went off, and they love on the dogs and whatever, but that training, like you said, man, is just consistency, doing it over and over. They get the routine. But like you grab them like at the show and you didn't have that refresher, then you're starting over in the ring. And by show 2 or 3, they get it.
they'll get it back. But and that's why I think it's important. If I know in that situation, I'll tell them, bring them to me that morning, bring them to me early, way before their show. And then what I tell them too, a lot of times before the show starts, walk them around like 17 times around the entire venue. I need you to get their jitters out. I need you to get them comfortable in this situation, because every dog is different. So you don't know if the dog is kind of nervous, more high anxiety, more high tension. Walk it around. Get all his jitters out, give him back to me, and then I'm gonna put it through its paces before it's time to show.
Yeah.
But I think at that point too, whenever I have a dog with me for so many weeks, you start to understand that dog. You start to, every dog has its own neuroses. Some dogs might be better in the tension. Some dogs might just be great. Come pull them out the kennel. Let's just show. We're good to go. Some dogs might need some warm up time to get ready to get back in mode. So, and by then I'll kind of understand what it is that dog's tics are and kind of try to work around it. But if I know I have a high strung dog that's like not going to remember, I tell people, bring me back that dog a week beforehand.
Right.
If you want me to do well with it, I'm going to need you to bring it back to me. Because at the end of the day, you're the one. If you want the best opportunity for your dog to win, I'm going to tell you what I feel is going to be the best way for it to succeed, training wise anyway.
So way back when, before you were the ringmaster, and you had some nerves when you got in there, do you think the dogs feed off of your nervousness?
Absolutely. All the time. I tell people that all the time when I see, especially like when I'm watching my friends who are newer.
Yeah.
And I can tell they're tunnel vision, because I'm over on the sideline like, look at me, pay attention, watch me. I'm trying to tell you to do something. They're just like, and they're so nervous. And the dog's like, what am I doing wrong? You can see the dog just side eye like, what am I doing wrong? So yeah, absolutely, they can feel that. Dogs hear so well; they know your heartbeat.
Yeah,
they know they can hear your heartbeat, and they can hear it when it goes. He's having palpitations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only that, a lot of times people don't realize how tense their hands are, if they're shaking, and as you're trying to handle your dog, and you're shaking, and the dog's like she's having a seizure on me. They know, they feel that.
That happened to me one time. It was with Betty, and we never been to Best in Show, right? So we.
You were having a conniption.
Yeah. So, hey, I made it all the way to the class with, and I mean the best of winners. I never made it to the Best in Show, and I was standing up there. I'm like, dang, what do I do? It's like it was all new, and I was like, what do I do? Like, God,
you as nervous as can be, huh?
Betty feet got happy feet, and I'm trying to put position. Why are you acting right? And the judge walked over.
Because you was all jittery. She was all jittery too.
It was actually Devin, the judge, and Devin goes, "Hey, it's not the dog, it's you. Calm down and show your dog." And I was like,
"Yeah,
oh shit, it's me."
Yeah, and that's honestly why I am like kind of like happy and more of that happy-go-lucky in the ring, because the dog feels that, And I've always realized, and it was Devin actually. Now that you mentioned it, one of the very first times like I was showing, the second or third day I was showing, and like I'm so tense, I'm so nervous. I used to never talk to my dog or anything, and she'd be like, "Talk to him. It's okay. Like reassure them." I'm like, Devin was talking to me.
You're obviously calm and collected now, but do you miss that time of nervousness? That
I still get nervous. Don't get it twisted, And I still get that feeling. I'm not gonna say it. There's no reason why you should be jaded to it. It should be exciting. It should be new, because it's really still like a love for me. Because it's exciting every time, because it's a different dog or it's a different situation, or it's just I'm really proud of the fact that my dog is there. So for me, at this point now, it's not even about nerves, but it's just more about how do I best make you look best.
Right. Yep.
I need to make you look your best. That is the absolute focus. And if I can focus on that, I don't think about anything else.
It's kind of a good pressure, in other words.
Right. And I'm one of those that's always kind of like buckled. I've never buckled under pressure. I would buckle up, like, let's go. We're in for the ride. Strap up. Let's go. let's study for the test right before the night. You know, I'm one of those guys where there are girls that just I can't fold because I feel that need, I guess, to perform. It's just always been in me.
You can see it.
Hey, I remember.
Hey, real quick, let me jump in. We got Zena who just gifted a membership. Kyle, can I give Zena some love? Can you drop me a sound on her? And I'm also gonna give you a free spin, Zena.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
There you go. And now we're gonna
I
go
forgot
ahead.
my gong.
We're gonna go ahead and do a free spin.
I don't even hear the sound.
Zena here real quick. Yeah, I could barely hear it for some reason, Kyle.
I can't hear it.
It's
I heard it.
But here we go, Zena. Here we go. You got 4 studs on there. Whoa, stop. All right, Zena. Zena, you won yourself a hat / beanie. So I'm sending you both. Do me a favor, Zena. Get in contact with Kyle. If you haven't done so far, make sure to download QBN app. It is absolutely free. Go ahead and click on Kyle Metal Custom Designs. There you go. And all you got to do is send him your information. And what we're going to do is send you a hat just like this and a QBN beanie. Sorry, guys, I had to interrupt, but I had to my member, man.
That's good.
I love hats.
I was telling Donald, I said, hey, that Pham is out there, man, in the hotel lobby walking dogs up and down like she's in the show, or she's outside doing the show. I'm like, man, we gotta do something, man.
Yeah. Man, it was our first show.
Yeah.
And that was the only person I was looking forward to because she hit the ground running on Facebook, and Lisa Strickland. Lisa Strickland granted. And man, I was just looking at you like, dang, I thought you just lived in my phone. I didn't know you were a real person. But man, you took us in and was so nice, man. It just made us want to come back and do that over and over.
Awesome.
Love seeing you at the shows everywhere we see you.
Girl Dad Fishing is asking, what is the best bait to use in the ring? Go ahead, Miss Pham, and I want to hear what you got, Donald and Mike.
You have to understand your dog.
Okay.
That's the best answer. Now, most of them are going to want, like, for me, my favorite thing to use is freeze-dried liver. I have, like, bags and bags of this stuff. They love liver, and it's freeze-dried, and I know it's 100% liver, and it seems to make them most excited. But some dogs aren't treat excited. You know, some dogs need toys. I had one dog that used a rawhide. So you have to understand your dog. What makes your dog tick? That's what I always say. What is it that gets them the most exuberant, the most excited for something? Is it a toy? Is it a treat? Is it is it a stick? Is it whatever the case may be? Is it a water bottle? I've had one dog that loved water bottles. And is it the smell of a female? I've had some people do that on a paper towel. I'm not even going to lie. Now, I've never had to do that, but it made their dog go, hey, you know? I don't know if that's going to work for female dogs, but you don't know. 2024. But
I'm sorry.
For the treats and stuff, just find, especially if you're going to use a treat, find what treat that they like the most. You know, whether or not it's chicken, it's liver, it's duck. And then sometimes it's, I have some dogs that hate fish, but I have some dogs that love salmon. You're just going to have to really understand what it is that makes your dog really excited and perks them up the most, that you can manage to put in your pocket and, utilize, whether or not it's a hot dog, whether or not it's a piece of ham. I know some dogs that go crazy over cheese, and Stephanie Witherspoon used to have dried chicken liver too. Like, she would have like a random piece of liver behind her index card for one of her dogs. And for me, it's these little raw bits of liver. But they do love liver. That's one of my favorite things to use.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever you use, I would just say to practice with that treat before you just say you've been using cheese the whole time. I wouldn't switch to chicken with my little Frenchie because he goes ape shit crazy. and it's not.
And only use that one magical treat during training and during the show. Right. Don't give it to them on the daily basis. Get them, you want to build habits. And that's what I was saying earlier with my training. You want to build routine habits. And once they realize, like, oh, this is the treat. Oh, this is when I need to turn on, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's that toy. That's when I need to turn on. I've had some dogs that really enjoy toys. And instead of having like a big old dog toy, I would go buy a cat toy, a tiny little cat toy that I could fit in my pocket. Some dogs really love balls. If you watch Grand Champion Blue and Kira, she always had a ball. Same thing with Stanford. Stanford even has a tiny little cool little ball holder on his belt clip, and it's for that, right? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I was like, I didn't know they make tennis ball clips, but okay, cool.
I think for me, if you get a dog on a ball that has that drive for a ball or a toy, I think you get more intensity out of them.
Right.
Yeah, I remember we was at we had to do a free stack in the Grand Champion class, and you gave me a squeaky ball and to do
my little tiny little Kong ball, and you're like, oh, okay. This works. But I was like, I know.
Yep.
That's why I buy those tiny little X small Kong balls. Not so they can play with them, but so I can have in my pocket.
There you go.
There you go. That's some good insight.
I'll just have it and I'll bounce it.
Have you ever come across a dog that wasn't fit to go in the ring? And if so, what was it about them that you would say disqualified them in your eyes?
For the most part, I think a lot of people have come to me with, really nice dogs. I've had people come to me and be like, can you break down my dog? And I was like, can you handle the truth? Yeah. That's going to be the real question. It's like, can you handle the truth? Mm-hmm. I can tell you if like your dog has a really great potential, your dog has a really good chance. I'm never going to say, oh, your dog, unless I really absolutely know this dog is golden, like your dog can win. I will say that if I know that dog can win. Like, I'm not going to say your dog's going to win every time, but I know your dog can win. But whenever it comes down to someone bringing me a dog that's like way out of par, I'll tell them why. Like, your dog has a massive underbite. It's a small underbite is acceptable, but this is, if I can put my finger in here, it's going to really hold them back, just certain little things like that. And I've even had really nice dogs that had like maybe one or two glaring flaws that a lot of people, one dog in particular recently, he was a beautiful dog. Everything about him was great, but he was just really easty-westy. And it bothered him. And I was like, that's just his one trait. And he's like, well, he's never going to win. He didn't win today. And I'm like, yeah, but that's today. But it's a personal choice whether or not you want to continue to try. Because, yes, that is a glaring flaw, but that doesn't mean the whole dog's a wash. But sometimes, but I'll say, will it hold him back? Yes. I won't be dishonest. But at the end of the day, I can't tell you what a judge is going to pick or choose. And I can't tell you what's going to be in that ring behind you or in front of you either. And that always depends. Is this dog nice enough to compare to the standard to win? Yes. Is this dog nice enough to compare to the standard if another dog's in there with prettier feet? I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
You better not have thin skin if you go to Bully Pham at a show and ask her to break your dog down. She is brutally honest. And it's
so savage.
That's what you need. You need brutal honesty. I mean, if you really want to get into this, you want someone in her position, in your position, to break it down, bro. Break my heart. Let me know what it is. That way you can make it better. Otherwise, you're going to go around, unfortunately, like a lot of breeders do. They become kennel blind, and I'm going to breed what I like. And to me, that's more of an excuse than anything else. Go ahead.
Right, the whole kennel blind thing. When you've got a bunch of friends who don't know what they're saying, oh, my dog clean, that dog nice, then that's what you're going to think. Your dog is nice.
Right.
But you want an opinion from someone who has multiple titled dogs, then that means that they have somewhat of an eye for what it is that they're looking for in the ring. And that's what I tell people too. Do you see, if you want to know an idea of what you're going up against, go to a show and see what's in the ring and winning. And see. Stop nitpicking all the little details, but pay attention to the big picture. What overall is taking the wins in this ring, in this registry? What overall is happening here? This is what you need to bring to the table.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Donald. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
As a part of to teach others. How many shows did you see before you were a participant in the shows?
What was that?
How many shows had you been to before you began participating?
I went to I was kind of strategic about it. I knew ABKC was kind of like the highest echelon at that point, and I didn't want to go in there just blind and not knowing and uncomfortable. So my very first show was a CBR show that was thrown locally. That was CBR was owned by Grand Champion G-Train's owners. And so when they threw a show down here, they brought down Grand Champion G-Train, they brought Grand Champion Triton, and they brought Grand Champion Breeze and Champion Trick. And that's where I got my first initial idea of this is what I need to be going for, right? And that was November. Oh, I can't even remember how long ago that was, 2018 or something like that. Mm. And then right after that, I went to my first ABKC show with Arista, and I knew Stephanie Witherspoon, now Stephanie Hicks. And I was all dressed up and all nervous, and like it was Shreveport. And I didn't show that day. When Stephanie saw me with Arista, she's like, "What dog is this? She's really pretty." And I was like, "This is my dog." She's like, "Let me show her." And I was like, "Please." And she went in and won against Devin's dog. Devin had a Rocco daughter. I had Arista, and they both took 2 and 2 best females.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" The very first time Arista went into the ring with Stephanie, she won a best female and a best classic. And I was just like, "What just happened? I don't know what just happened." Yeah. and then 2 weeks later, I went to Pensacola after my first show, didn't try anything, just went to experience it, see what was going on. My first ABKC show, I brought my dog. She was handled and shown by someone else, Stephanie, and won. And then my first time I stepped into the ring was the third show, the second ABKC show I ever went to in Pensacola. And then I champed Arista out. Nice. Without even knowing that I champed her out.
Good deal.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good strategy right there.
Yeah. Yep. So we did that was our route too. Yeah.
Because I wanted to know what was going on. I didn't want to be in like a big scary venue, you know? So I was like, ABKC, I would have been like nervous and scared and like probably not breathing. So then I was like, let me try a little more local with people I know and with dogs that I know are beautiful. Like these dogs are ABKC Grand Champions, so this is what we should be going for. And that's when I watched, okay, so this is what they do in the show ring. They go up and down, and they stack their dogs, and they go around, and they stack their dog. And I'm like taking it all in, taking videos, and I'm like, because I didn't want to, a lot of people were like, I'm going to just go, and I'm going to give it a try. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. That would have been like, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. So we had, I don't know, maybe 1,000 mock shows and down the driveway where we got multiple dogs out there going through the show motion. So
cool.
Before we hit the ring, yep.
Yeah, we kept winning everything, so we thought, man, we can do it in the driveway, we can do it in the Coliseum.
There you go. Practice makes perfect.
I have a question. Excuse me. We have a question from Pastor Beers Blue Bullies. Love the name. Pastor and Beers all in one name. One question. Should I deworm my puppy and adult dogs when I feed my dogs a raw diet like beef?
You should always worm your dogs in any situation. Always deworm your dogs.
How often?
Always.
How
that
often?
depends on which one you're using. If you're using pyrantel pamuate, you need to use it monthly. If you're using fenbendazole, Safeguard, Panicure, then you need it for adult dogs. That's every 6 months. I'm kind of crazy. I do both. I use pyrantel monthly and I use fenbendazole every 6 months.
There you go.
Hey, Caleb.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we got Caleb Bully Pride in the house. Caleb Weddle saying what's up. Jet Ski saying Bully Life is the best. We got Mark Whitehead. He says, what do you feed your dogs, raw or kibble? And he had asked a previous question as well to go with this, and that is, do you feed them any supplements like Nuvet?
Yes.
Right. I do both, actually. I don't do like a consistent raw diet per se because my dogs would probably starve. I'm not that consistent. I need kibble. So I prefer, honestly, the Nuck Shuck. I love that stuff. It's really good stuff. And I've been using Nature's Recipe Lamb for my other dogs. And then I like a little bit of both. It just depends on the day, depends on the dog. Like my more sensitive dogs, my show dogs and stuff, I use a Nuck Shuck. And for my just regular maintenance dogs, I use Nature's Recipe. So long as there's no peas, no corn, no wheat, and no
soy,
all that stuff, soy. You're right. I just avoid all that. For raw, I like to give them. I can give them as much raw as I want, but normally it'll be chicken leg quarters, pieces of liver. It's more. I use raw more as like a snack and a supplement. It's just more in the evening times, just for fun, just for extra meat, extra calories, extra protein.
Yes.
good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
And the supplements, I like U-Move. The U-Move is amazing. And I actually really like Pet Honesty. They're probiotic, they're digestive probiotic. I love it. And their allergy stuff, because I have one dog that is sensitive. And so I give him that every day. And Pet Honesty, I like their fish oil too. I love a fish oil is just kind of like an everyday thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been actually using that. I've been giving my dogs the thing about omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6 is they come in liquid form. So you're never, for example, we're sponsored by Nuvet. You're never going to find omega-3s and omega-6s, say, on a wafer or anything like that.
Right.
It's usually going to be either in a capsule or
Squirt bottle.
Bottles, right? Squirt bottles, exactly. I've been using some of that salmon and pollock oil, and let me tell you, wow, what a difference in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. I definitely can attest to that. Jerry James is asking, do you prefer a heavy Dax blood dog or a legacy blood dog with a splash of Dax blood? Huh?
It just depends on what you want. What's the market at right now?
They're asking what do you prefer? So
Yeah,
they're cornering you.
Yeah.
Legacy blood dog.
So
where are you going with that?
We have both in the yard.
So what's your answer?
Both.
Both.
Either way. And then we can come back and mix and match them.
Various combinations
of different Dax lines that we like. And we can mix and match the legacy dogs with it. Matter of fact, we got a guy that's all he has is legacy dogs. So we can tap into that too.
Okay, fair enough, man. Now, let me tell you guys this. I've been looking at the questions, man, and definitely Mark Whitehead, you brought up an excellent question, and therefore we're going to go ahead and give you a quick free spin, man. Kyle, do me a favor. You can remove that puppy off my screen real quick, and we're going to go ahead and spin this wheel if I can find it. Here you go. All right. Real quick, we have Nuvet, we have wristband, obviously. We also have 50% off Congo, 50% off Fireball. I'm gonna throw 100% in there. We also have 100% Bass Reeves stud credit as well as Tuck. So here we go. We rocking.
Come on,
here we go. Come on now. Oh, stop. Oh, there it is. Tugboat.
No.
Boom. They got it.
No tugging.
They got it, man.
A winner, Tugboat.
Man, congratulations. Look at that. Look at that.
That's a good one.
What tugboat at?
Hey,
you got
Mark.
you got a date, boy.
Yeah.
Now you got
Mark, do me a favor.
We're gonna have to prime them up.
I know.
Yeah, Mark, do me a favor. Make sure to download QBN app. Like I said earlier, get in contact with my guy Kyle. It's going to say Holland Custom Design, Metal Custom Designs. Once you go to the app, there you go. There's his phone number. Right there. And for you guys that are probably going to call in the middle of the night and heavy breathe on it, please don't do that. Let my guy Kyle sleep, right? But Mark Whitehead, go ahead and send your information to him. And congratulations, man. You got yourself a stud credit, man.
Heck yeah.
That, man. Let's see. Look, we got Eddie Lopez saying, I can't wait to use Tugboat with my girl, Big Mac. Eddie Lopez, if you was a member and you was asking questions, you probably would have gotten yourself another free studying on that, man. Just a heads up. But good stuff, man. TB is awesome. Absolutely. What plans do we have going on for, say, future plans, Miss Pham? We know where you've been. We know where you're at right now. What you got going on, in the cooker for the future?
All right. This weekend, we will be at the ABKC Labor Day Bully Showcase in Georgia.
Okay.
So it's going to be a real big show. I've got this 9-month-old XL I'm debuting out there from one of my clients right now.
All right. I hope I didn't put you on the spot with that question, but all right, good deal. We got Mr. Eddie Lopez asking, how do I do it? How do I become a member? Oh, Kyle already got it, man. All you got to do is go down. Kyle doing this. Like, look, let me bring him up here, man. Just look at his smile. Look at that smile. Give us that there. That's all right there, man.
You got a cadence for that.
Guy in the back, man. Number love for Kyle. You know what, Kyle? You know what, man? You pissing me off today, Kyle. I'm going to give you a free spin. We're going to give Kyle a spin. Let's give Kyle a spin, man, because he's just been doing such a great job back there. And hold on a second.
He deserves a free hat.
There you go, Kyle.
Yeah.
This was for you, Kyle. This was for you. Watch him get a stud credit. What? Look, here it is. Boom, man, there it is. The wheels just giving out stud credits left and right.
First
right.
Man.
Yeah, you take double the price for Kyle.
Look at that.
Congrats, Kyle. Congrats. You got your
Kyle,
litter. Hey, do me a favor. Drop the bong on Justin Smith. Just became a member, man.
Hey, I just got to make sure. I got to drop the banner so I can give Hollywood a call later.
There you go. That's right. Let Hollywood know.
Hollywood a call.
Give me a new member Sam on that. There you go. Justin, nothing but love, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, we don't hear that sound. We don't hear the new member sound.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing it myself, man.
Yeah.
No, it's on 100%, and Pham says she could hear it perfect. I mean, it's loud.
You can hear it?
I got it all the way up.
I heard it great.
Okay. So it's got to be us, man. We're the old guys in the room. Definitely not Miss Pham. Miss Pham, I have a question for you. Jira Grimm, one of our members, is saying, Miss Pham, who is competition you look forward to going against in the ring? I love this question.
Honestly, my favorite competition to go against is my own dogs. It's just something. It's such a crazy and amazing feeling to go for best male, best female against one of your own productions, and to know that everything like made it to that point, and to be competing against yourself. It's just like, and you're so proud of those who have believed in your dogs enough to take them to that point. So, and especially if we beat by them, like it's honestly kind of better than, it's still a win, but it's like 2 wins for me,
Yep. So
go ahead.
So that's the deal. You just brought up something. You talking about a male and female having to go against like best of what is it?
Best of variety.
Yeah, best of variety.
Yeah.
But this, I say, should you take 2 males out there? You got 2 nice looking males, or should you take a male and a female in the show?
You take the best dogs you got.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things is like I have been pretty lucky, but there are times when I know, hey, this dog is gonna beat this dog every time. Right. I mean, honestly, that's what with Broly, Champion Broly, the one who just recently champed out. I have his brother, and I said I'm not gonna show the brother. And he's like, why not? Well, because you're just gonna beat me. I'm not into donations.
Right.
What's the point of me doing all that unless you need the competition? But I know you're not gonna beat. You're not gonna, let me win.
Right. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, especially if I know they're in the same class, and I know that class is always going to have competition, like the puppy class always stacked, then that's the whole thing. But if you're on the 2 or 3 or something like that, I know that you need competition, and it's not that I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to still try my best. But Grand Champion Riku right there. Champion Broly is her most recent champion son. And I have Goku, who did take 3 out of the 4 standard classes at Stephanie's show. And he's, 1 major away from championing out. I just stopped. I didn't show him because I knew. I said, you show Broly first, because there's no point to me to show this male. But if I would have had a sister, then I would have showed her too, because they're two separate classes. Best of variety is best variety. What we know as a champion title, the most things we care about is that major. You know, everybody wants that major.
Yes. we'll if we have just say two dogs the same age, we'll run one in a different registry and run one in there, and we will take a male and a female, and then flip flop them.
Flip flop them, yeah.
Yeah, flip flop them.
You want to explain the classes for shows?
Yes.
Yeah.
The way that shows are broken down is in categories based upon age and sex. And the age groups are usually 3 to 6 months, male and female, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months, and then 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and then 3 years and up. Because by then all dogs are fully matured and shouldn't be changing much from that point forward. All those age classes both have a male class and a female class. So once each age group goes up, and say you have your 6 to 9 month, 9 to 12 month, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 and up. It'll all be females go first, and then males go second in that order. Once the males and the females once all the females of each class wins, you have your 6 to 9 winner, 9 to 12 winner, 1 to 2 winner, and 3 and up winner. All those winners go against each other for best female. And then the same respectively goes for best male. The winner of that group of age groups gets the best female or best male, and that's what we call a major. And you need however so many of those within each registry in order to champ out, and you need however so many points in order to champ out. Once they get the best female and the best male, those two best go against for best of variety. So you have to choose between a male and a female for the best of the variety of that class, whether it's classic, standard, pocket, extreme, XL. That's a best of variety when the male goes against the female. And then after that, each class winner representative competes for best of breed. So you have the winner for the best pocket, the best standard, the best XL, and the best classic, all competing for best of winners. And whoever wins that gets best of winners. That dog then goes to compete against the winning champion and the winning grand champion for best of breed. And the best of breed winner goes up for best in show against the other breed winners for each breed itself. French Bulldog, English Bulldog, Dogo Argentino, Cane Corso, whatever the case may be.
Hold on, guys. Kyle, get it ready. We got Eddie Lopez. He decided to jump on board with us. Eddie. Can you
No, I can't hear it.
There you go. Number love, Eddie Lopez. Thanks for joining us, man. Make sure to drop your questions. We got one last question.
I got a question.
It seems repetitive, but I need you to answer this, Miss Pham. Hold on. It says, Miss Pham, if you had to pick one female and one male to start over with, who would they be and why?
If I had to start over and I got to pick one female, I know for a fact that would be Grand Champion Week 2. No, I lied. Let me take that back. I would never start over with anyone but Arista. Arista is what made me. Arista is what started me. Arista is what made everything. So I would never start over again. But I don't need to start over because what I started with at that point, Arista was the dog that started it. Male, you know, that's why I say male diamond dozen. If I had to choose a male, my program never really had many males. But out of our entire group, Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws. All right.
Yeah, Jaws. Like
Jaws.
It's on Jaws.
We gotta like it.
Champion Jaws and Champion Arista, because they have created everything that we know, and those are the dogs that made us, literally who we are.
Well, listen, Miss Pham, I got to tell you this. I appreciate for you coming on. And we have this thing. Hold on. We're going to start on me. Let me put Hollywood over there.
Wait, I got a question.
This thing where we got an outro. Go ahead, Gaines. Go ahead, Mike.
I got a quick question. And Ed brought up the amount of grand champions she produced and how hard it is to grand champ a dog, the amount of work to go in. I just want to know that.
Oh, my gosh. There's so many hours, so many hours, so many hours, so beyond training, beyond the hours you need to put in just to get your dog to that level of workmanship. There's so many hours on the road that you need to get there. There's so many shows you need to go to, you know, and it's so hard because not a lot of people have that time to dedicate. And when you don't have the time, then you need the money to dedicate. So I give a lot of people, anyone who has the will and has gone out there to, you know, and went to the dog shows, I give you much respect. And, you know, I congratulate you for everything you've done because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I respect that. And I truly believe in that. And that's why when people come to me with that whole, hey, I want to show a dog. Hey, I want a champion. I want a grand champion. I want to do everything I can to help you get that. If you're buying a dog from me and you say, I want a champion dog, I want a show dog, then I will say, I'm not going to just sell you a dog. I would say, give me time and I will give you that dog. But you have to wait because I can't just make it for you right here and there. If I had clay and Play-Doh and, you know, and I had God's magic, then great. But I don't. So I just have to pray that he gives me the ones that we're looking for in all of these breedings. And from there we can move forward. But it takes a lot.
I'm glad. I'm glad you broke that down because some people think that getting a grand champion is just a matter of just throwing money,
going out there,
pups, and you're good to go. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell Adam Fields, don't encourage Mike. I've been hounding on him. I've been hounding
man,
him
look
all
at that
day
hat.
about that hat.
Money Mike. Hey, give us a Mexican dance with that hat, man.
Yeah,
I know. I can do the hat dance.
That hat will never be on the spin wheel.
No.
I'm gonna see that in the show ring next time. Next show I see you better. I'm gonna see you. Yeah. Be like, he ain't throwing no shade today.
Well, listen, we come to the conclusion of this live. Hopefully, this ain't the last time we have you on here, Miss Pham.
It's been a pleasure. I really thank y'all for having me.
With another grand champion in your arsenal. I'll tell you what, we do something on this show. We're going to start it out with Hollywood, and it's how we do our outros. Here we go.
It's your boy Hollywood hollering, your boy in the back at the queue, and we're catching you on the next one.
Gaines Bullies.
Hey, Mike Green,
Donald Gaines,
and we'll catch you on the next one.
Not just killing time.
Miss Pham.
Bully Pham, I'm Pham, and we'll catch you on the next one.
And you already know it's been Raw from the queue, catching you on the next one.